Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to dive into the energies of May 2021. We're going to look at the collective energy for May. May is a universal one energy. So we're going to dive into that, take a closer look at those energies that we may feel collectively. And then I'm going to break the energy down for your particular life path number, and that will be labeled in the notes and on the thumbnail. So I hope that makes sense. I know a few people were confused on April's forecast, but basically, again, we're just going to start the podcast off by looking at the collective energies for the universal energy, and then we're going to break down your own life path number. Okay, so May 2021 is a 10-1 universal energy. So ultimately, it's a 1 universal energy. And so what that means is the collective energy of May is that of new starts, fortune, luck, and a turn for the better. So this is a great time to express authentic, innovative ideas in a way that allows you to sort of take the reins and take the lead within your own life. You know, do you want a new job? Do you want a new relationship? Is there a new project or experience that you want to have? This is the energy that supports you in the initiation. So go for it. It may not unfold exactly as you plan because there's always sort of a level of surrender involved in life, as we know, but it will bring you exactly what you need for this phase of your journey. So you just need to say yes and get started. So there may be instances this month where you find yourself standing alone, sort of required to make personal decisions. This can feel challenging at times, but it's in this solitude that you'll discover things about yourself and your journey that that were previously hidden. So this is a wonderful energy for self-discovery and for standing on your own 2 feet. This is going to be a time where you could see great rewards surface for efforts you've already expended. Things that felt challenging in the past sort of shift, and things begin to calm down enough for you to see more clearly and to gain the confidence needed in order to make those bold new starts that have been calling to you. So you may find that you receive some much needed clarity at this time around a circumstance where there may have been some conflict previously. This clarity will allow you to deal with a situation in a much more elevated way with a deeper understanding. And so that will allow you to move forward much more freely once things are settled. So this is an energy of initiation and change. So if there are areas within your life where a fresh new outlook is needed or a new start is beckoning, this is the month to make your move. Embrace this one energy for all that it has to offer. Okay, 33 sixes. So make sure 33s that you listen to the forecast for the sixes. That is your life path number. The 33 energy is an extension of that energy. Okay, so I pulled an animal spirit card to see what the overall energy for the month could hold for you all for May. And you got Dragonfly spirit. And Dragonfly says, truth transcends illusion. And so I feel like for you all, there's going to be times this month where sort of some things may be shrouded and you might not be able to see the whole picture, or things may appear one way, but the truth of the reality is very different. And so it kind of like what I think of is like when somebody tells us something and we allow that to cloud our judgment, but we weren't told the whole story, right? So it's kind of like the truth eventually will present itself, right? We will see the whole story at some point and it'll make sense at that time. But I think the message really is don't get caught up in the illusion of how things appear this month. Really use your internal insight, that internal compass, to help guide you along with your, the practical skills of knowledge and the facts to make your decisions this month, okay? Just understand that things may be a little bit cloudy this month. And so, again, you will have the resources available to you to move through the energy, but don't allow yourself to get so caught up in in appearances, right? Because that can derail you. So just remember that the truth will prevail and eventually, and you will have all the pieces to the puzzle eventually, and try to work with whatever it is you're presented with, but try not to let that energy derail you, okay? If that makes sense. So I broke the month down into 4 weeks, and the first week is interesting. I really get this feeling that you're going to be called into some kind of a leadership position. Now, this could be leadership within your own life, right? Like taking the reins within your own life. This one energy that we are all feeling collectively in May really calls to that, like really speaks to that, being autonomous and really standing your truth and standing your ground when it's something that you feel is right or that you desire for your journey forward, even if it's that energy of needing to stand alone, right? Which a lot of leaders do have to stand alone sometimes, especially if their idea or their vision is way outside the box and people don't understand it. So you may find yourself at this time trying to forge ahead and feeling like a little isolated, but just know that if you can keep your emotions in check, where you don't allow the emotions of others or your own emotions to sort of take control, and you can remain in control of your own emotions, then you're going to do just fine, right? So this is like leading with a clear head, and again, not allowing the emotions to sort of take over to where you no longer can see clearly because you're too emotionally involved, if that makes sense. So I don't know if this is going to be around relationships or career or whatever. This is a general reading, but I just get that sense where it's like, try to keep a level head about you this first week and not get too emotionally involved in whatever the situation is. And just remembering what Dragonfly said about truth transcends illusion. This first week, you may have a lot of illusions kind of at play, and that can kind of cloud your judgment a little bit as well. And then if you become emotionally involved in the situation, then that even clouds it further. And so it's really hard to sort of be a leader in a situation when you're overly emotional about the situation, or if you're sort of too consumed by the appearances of something. So I know that sounds a little bit cryptic, but if this is the energy that you're faced with, you will understand what I'm talking about when it shows up, right? So it's just try to keep your emotions in check and just try to see things openly and from all sides this first week, because that's going to allow you to be able to make the most sound decision when it comes to making decisions this week. The second week of May, I'm seeing some kind of like you need to have a shift in focus. You're overly focused on something that's, again, feels emotionally charged. But then I also kind of see this like clarity coming in for you and you being able to make a very sound decision from that clarity. And also that information that comes in for you allows you to, or helps you to shift your focus. So it's almost like you're hyper-focused on something that is no longer serving you or that didn't work out or whatever the case may be. And the universe is saying, okay, let's move on now. Let's progress forward, because you're kind of stuck in this energy and you just need to continue to move forward, find a way to move forward. But I do feel like you're going to have some help in doing that. And again, it's almost like there's like a knife cutting through the illusions at this point. So it's like you do get to kind of see some things more clearly and not so shrouded, if that makes sense. And then the third week is interesting because I'm getting like this sort of energy around self-sabotage. Like maybe an opportunity comes in for you, but you are too afraid to take it. So you hold yourself back, but then you get upset with yourself because you're not moving forward in the way that you want to move forward. But so really this third week is going to be focused on, again, intuition, following your inner compass, following your truth, your inner knowing, and not being so concerned about the external and the external noise or the external opinions or the external advice, right? This is going to be a time where I think that one energy for the month is really going to be coming in strongly, and you may have to stand up and stand out. And that might ruffle some feathers, but that's okay because it's following your own truth. The more that you can do that and not sort of continue to make yourself small to blend in, the more that you can stand up and stand out in this May 1 energy, 33s, the more that you're going to feel liberated. You're going to feel like you have a voice. You're going to feel like you're standing in your power. So you can continue to make yourself small and, follow the herd or whatever the case may be. That's not necessarily the wrong decision. It's just that it's going to continue to make you feel stifled and held back. So this energy is really going to be about do what feels right for you, but do it in a way that feels true for you as well, right? Like follow your truth against all odds type thing. I'm seeing that energy really, really strongly. So this will be a time for you to really, again, follow the inner compass, and you'll be surprised at what doors get opened for you the more that you sort of step up and level up and do that and sort of leave the expectations and the herd behind, if that makes sense. 4th week of May, I'm definitely seeing a massive change in direction or a abrupt change when it comes to how you give and how you receive. So 33 energy, often when you are in sort of your shadow energy, you are grossly overgivers, if that's even like a word, if that even makes sense. But it's like you just give so much of yourself, and it's not a healthy exchange of energy in terms of what you give and what you receive. And so I feel like for those of you, this feels very specific, but for those of you this resonates with, if there's an area within your life where you are just giving to the point of exhaustion, you are just giving to the point where you are completely depleting yourself. And that can be like in a relationship, in a job, if you're working 80 hours a week and you have no time for you, right? Like no time for your actual living, that is grossly overgiving, right? Like there's not a healthy exchange of energy there. I don't care how much they pay you. So if there's an area within your life where you are just overly giving to the point of depletion, then I feel like there's going to be something from the universe coming in, some kind of assistance. It may not feel like assistance when it occurs because sometimes it can feel a little catastrophic or it can feel a little abrupt when it comes in. It's sort of like a tower moment in tarot, to be honest. But it's coming in to really highlight for you where something needs to change. So again, like let's use an example of working 80 hours a week and just to the point of exhaustion. That's not sustainable. Mentally, emotionally, physically, it's not sustainable. And at some point, you can get so caught up in that and that need to do a really good job, that need to please, that need to be, excel, whatever the case may be. You can get so caught up in that energy of action that you just burn yourself out, right? And something needs to change, but you're unaware of what needs to change because you're so caught up in the energy. So there's just this sense of like sort of a tower energy coming in to shift that focus, to highlight for you, hey, this is not healthy, this is toxic, this needs to change. So if you refuse to slow down, then the universe is going to slow you down, right? So that you can get a better perspective, so that you can understand where things are out of alignment and where there's not a healthy exchange of energy. So I do feel like this is an energy where it's like you're just overgiving and you need to find a way to receive. And if it's that job situation, then it may be like, if you don't see a light at the end of the tunnel, and you don't see things changing, then this might be the time where you need to honor yourself enough to recognize that you didn't come here to live this experience to work every hour of your life away, right? Like nothing is worth that. You have to have time to actually live and enjoy this journey. So I just feel like for some, this may be a wake-up call for you this last week, and it's nothing to be afraid of. Or nothing to fear. It's just simply an energy, the universe stepping in to help you and say, you are giving too much here. You're running yourself ragged. We need to change because you're not progressing at this point. You're just staying stuck and depleting yourself. So I do see that energy coming in strongly for those that are in need of it. Now, if everything in your life feels very balanced at this point, then I don't really see that coming in for you that last week. So this is just a checkpoint, a pretty big checkpoint, I think, to take a closer look at where there may be an imbalance of giving and receiving. If you're somebody who overly gives to people constantly with your time, your energy, your resources, then again, this is going to be an opportunity to see where there's an imbalance there. And it's going to give you an opportunity to make adjustments. And in the long run, that's going to really help you. So this is for your own good. And this is a positive thing. So, okay, so that is the energy for May for you all, for 33s. I think it's going to be a really, again, transformative month. I feel like I say that every month for 33s, but you all signed up for master level energy. So with that comes a lot of responsibility and a lot of additional challenges. But, that master energy, your soul came here to master these experiences. And so there's a tremendous amount of soul growth that comes from this. And these are all tools that you'll use as you continue to progress forward on your journey. So I think it's going to be a powerful month for you all 33s. Okay, well, I will leave it there, but just remember Dragonfly's message of truth transcends illusion. So try not to get too caught up in the illusions this month, because I do feel like that could trip you up, but not to worry, you'll find your footing again. So, all right, everyone, take care. Bye for now.